Hey guys, great to have you here. So, lots of people have asked me about confidence. So I wanted to talk about that today. So, what is confidence? Well, it's the feeling of having trust in yourself. So, that's an interesting concept, I would say, having trust in yourself. And you might have noticed actually that young children, have a lot of confidence. So, young kids, they'll always be saying, look at me, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And actually, they did studies with people, with children, so from age, I think it was about 5, and then age 10, and age 15, and age 20. And they asked them loads of questions like, can you do this? Can you do that? So, for example, can you sing? Can you dance? Can you do maths? Can you spell well? All these kind of things. And what they found was that as the children increased in age, that they said less and less things they could do well. So if you imagine a 5-year-old being able to, for example, their maths ability compared to a 20-year-old, obviously it's going to be far less, but their confidence was far greater and they say, yes, I can do it. So what is happening here? Like, obviously you're going to get better at something with age, but then your confidence lowers. So it seems to be inverse. Like, why is that? And why are some people so much more confident than others, even if they have less ability? Well, it goes always back to the mind again, the mind. So when you're very young, you don't really have the thinking, conversational chat kind of mind as much as you do when you're older, and you don't identify with it as much. So what actually holds you back from your natural confidence, which we all have as children, is this thinking mind getting in the way. So you might have noticed before you do something that you have a lot of negative thoughts. So it could be like you're no good at this, you failed before at this thing, so you can't do it, or you're rubbish at relationships, or your finances are a mess and you can't manage them, and you won't be able to understand it. Or you can't go into that room full of people because you're not as good as them, like your job isn't as good as them, and all these kind of negative thoughts. So that's what we're listening to all the time in our head. And not only are we listening to it, most of us believe that we are the voice that's telling us that, which is all just conditioned thinking that's come from our society, say from our parents or teachers, peers, culture, which we've picked up over time. So since we're that young, confident child, becoming an adult, we've picked up all that cultural conditioning, and then we believe that thinking mind is us. So of course, if you have someone telling you, or this like voice telling you that you're no good at something and you'll fail at this or that, then obviously you're going to feel nervous. Like it's like having a teacher and saying the teacher saying to you, "Oh, you're very poor at maths. You're not going to be able to do well." It's obviously going to affect your results, and they've done studies on that where they found that, for example, teachers or parents, if they just say something like that, you can't do this, you can't do that, even if they can, then their ability will drop. So it's the power of this, like, of someone, like a voice, like someone external telling you, or you telling yourself that you can't do something, that makes you not feel confident. And so a couple of examples from my life would be so I'll pick a couple. So one would be, for example, like big groups of people. I didn't used to like going into parties or big groups because I'd feel really nervous, and I think that was just the way I am, like maybe a little bit shy. But what actually it was that this voice, coming in saying people are judging me, people are looking at me, people think this about me, etc. And then I'd believe all those thoughts. So it put me off going to parties and things. I just thinking, oh, it's really uncomfortable. But actually, it wasn't the situation that was uncomfortable. It's just my thinking at the time that made it uncomfortable. And so now, if I do loads of dancing, and there's like it's often like hundreds of people at these events, and you can walk in sometimes, and then like there's no one, everyone else looking at you. But what if I do now? I just stay present with each step, which means stay out of my thinking, just observe it, but stay present with each step of what I'm doing, like walking on the dance floor. And I don't feel nervous, and actually feel really confident. And then another example would be when I first discovered all these mindset shifts, and I was asked at my corporate company to stand on stage and do a big talk about it. I know before I would have been absolutely terrified at that because there's really senior people, and it was something quite personal, like my personal journey. But actually doing that, I found it surprisingly enjoyable. Like the first few minutes, I was definitely a bit uncomfortable because it's something way out of my comfort zone. But then when I did that, it actually made me feel really, really confident towards the end. I really amazed myself, and it was all about again just being present and staying out of that negative thinking mind. So I might notice I have thoughts like, "Oh, this is going to be a disaster," and I just ignore them. And I say, right, attention back on what I'm doing. And you might actually find that yourself. So when you're maybe midway through some kind of exam, you might realise at the beginning you're really nervous and not confident at all. But then once you get into it, you're actually feeling quite good. And it's because, again, we're out of the mind and then we're back on a task. So the only thing that stops your natural confidence, which we all have, is actually this mind and how we identify with it. So this isn't any situation as well. So you might want to ask yourself, okay, you might think I'm really nervous in social situations, and you might ask, like, just delve in, like, why am I? Like, why don't I feel confident? And maybe it's because you have a belief that people are judging you. I mean, that is probably true. Like, people do judge everyone, but that doesn't mean that it needs to affect you. If that makes sense. It means that, okay, yes, people do judge, and that's fine, but if I just ignore those thoughts I have about myself and just focus on what I'm doing now, then actually I do feel naturally confident. So you might think this is it's a bit kind of hard to believe, and it's like it's too easy, and that's kind of what I thought when I first learned about it. But just try it out for yourself. Like next time you're feeling a bit nervous about something, just try and take a few deep breaths and then bring your attention away from that thought process and then back into the now. So, anything else around confidence? Yeah, I think the key takeaway really is just to know that it's our natural state. Probably if you watched a video of yourself when you're really young, you might see how confident you were then and then see how it's changed. And obviously, if your abilities go up, then your confidence shouldn't go down. It should be the opposite way. So we know it's nothing to do with abilities. And what else has changed? It's the development of this thinking mind that we have and the conditioning that we have in our society. So just try and remember, like, that's how you were. You can go back to that. And I know from my own experience that that's 100% true, because as I said about the standing on stage with the people and also doing these Facebook lives, like, I remember at the beginning I did a recorded video because I thought, oh, there's no way I can do a live video. What if I make a mistake? And blah, 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 blah. And now I just do lives all the time because I'm confident that I know what I'm talking about, for one. I know I can deliver it well. And I'm just going to ignore any of those thoughts that say otherwise. And then it works. So it's amazing how you can just tell yourself, of course I can do it. You can even say things like that to yourself. It's the option. You can just ignore the thoughts, but if you want to, you can just say empowering thoughts to yourself and say, yes, of course I can do this. I'm really capable. People are going to listen to what I've got to say. I know what I'm talking about. I'll deliver it well. And actually saying those things to yourself actually helps reinforce that message. So it's really amazing, like, how simple it is. But it does take practice. And sometimes it takes guidance from other people. So, for example, I had a coach at a certain point in my career, and it really, really helped me implement a lot of this stuff because I kind of understood it conceptually, but actually when to go into practice and have someone there to support you on your own personal journey, that massively helps. So if you do want any more information about confidence or any other topic, please do just reach out to me or comment below. You can message below how you found this video, if you found it useful, or you want me to talk about something else or something differently. I'm more than happy to help you, or just private message me. And we can all be confident, really. It's our natural state. It's really, really simple. And I love to help people realise that, because you can go through your whole life thinking you're not confident. You're not confident in relationships, not confident in your career, not confident with your finances, when it's all about mindset. So yeah, reach out to me with any questions, comment below, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers, guys. Bye for now.